Dalai Lama XIV, The Book of Joy, Lasting Happiness in a Changing World. Embark on a journey to discover lasting happiness in a changing world, as the Dalai Lama XIV and Archbishop Desmond Tutu guide you through the exploration of joy and suffering in The Book of Joy. Unravel the significance of shifting your perspective from yourself to others, and learn to cultivate mental immunity for a resilient mindset. Embrace compassion, love, and the power of sadness to forge stronger connections with others, while overcoming fear and anger. With a focus on 8 pillars of joy, this book summary uncovers valuable insights that will help you transform your life, aiding you in overcoming life's adversities and discovering true happiness.
The importance of suffering. Suffering can be fruitful and constructive when experienced with empathy and compassion towards others. Pain is necessary to appreciate joy and achieve success. Suffering is an unavoidable aspect of human life, from traffic jams to mounting bills. However, suffering can also lead to positive outcomes and is even a crucial part of life. Pain and suffering can be fruitful and constructive, as it enables individuals to cherish happy moments and even accomplish success. A prime example is the pain that comes with childbirth, which many mothers accept as a necessary part of bringing new life into the world. Suffering has also been pivotal in the lives of famous figures, like Nelson Mandela, who, despite experiencing tremendous suffering during his 27-year imprisonment, managed to cultivate kindness and empathy for his political adversaries, which subsequently led to his election as the first president of a free South Africa. However, experiencing suffering in a constructive way involves shifting one's perspective away from themselves and towards others. This is encapsulated in the Buddhist practice of Lojong. Obsessing over oneself and one's desires will ultimately lead to sadness, and shifting the focus towards others can bring a sense of peace and joy. The Dalai Lama's experience while sharing Buddhist teachings at Bodh Gaya, the holiest Buddhist site in the world, exemplifies this notion. Despite experiencing severe abdominal pain on his way to the hospital, he shifted his focus to an old, sick man who was sitting alone on the street, experiencing the man's pain and momentarily forgetting his own. Therefore, suffering is important, but only when experienced in a particular way. It is necessary to shift the perspective from oneself to others, as it helps individuals to not only appreciate life's positive moments but also achieve success and create a sense of empathy and compassion towards fellow beings. Building your mental resilience. The mind is like the body, it needs to be healthy to handle stress and prevent suffering. To build mental immunity, understand that fear and frustration are feelings that can be controlled. Find joy in any situation and don't criticize yourself when you can't control the outcome. Use these experiences to practice patience and exercise your mental fortitude. Finally, stress can be managed with proven tools to help you let go of negative thoughts, fears, and anxieties. Overcoming fear and anger. Modern pressures can instill unrealistic expectations and desires that lead to fear and anger. However, practicing compassion and channeling sadness into positive outcomes can help overcome these emotions. In today's society, the constant pressure to be successful and achieve more can lead to unrealistic expectations and desires that often result in fear and anger when they're not met. The author proposes that the negative emotions that stem from failing to live up to these expectations are much more important than the expectations themselves. The fear of not getting what one wants or being disrespected can create anger that is both painful and damaging. However, there are ways to overcome these negative emotions. One way is through compassion, as shown by the story of scientist Paul Ekman. His rage, developed due to his father's aggressive behavior and his mother's suicide, was transformed instantly when he met the Dalai Lama, who showed him pure love and compassion. Surprisingly, sadness can also be a powerful tool for connecting people, as shown by the psychological study conducted by Joseph Forgas. Low levels of sadness can lead to greater sensitivity to social norms, improved judgment, and increased generosity. For example, the sad participants in Forgas's experiment were more willing to share money than their happy counterparts. Finally, the Dalai Lama teaches that, despite its inevitability, sadness can be turned into motivation. When his foremost teacher passed away, he used his sadness to fulfill his teacher's wishes and now teaches others to use sadness to achieve ambitious dreams. In conclusion, the pressures of modern life can lead to fear and anger, but practicing compassion and channeling sadness into positive outcomes can help overcome these negative emotions. The dangers of isolation and envy. Loneliness and envy are hazards we all face. Isolation can lead to heart attacks due to a self-centered attitude, while envy can result in unhappiness among others. We must learn to trust and share with others to prevent isolation and open ourselves up to the world. We should also beware of envy, as having a well-intentioned desire for fairness can backfire and create a feeling of left-out resentment among others. Embracing mortality. The author asserts that coming close to death makes one appreciate life all the more, but accepting mortality is also crucial to experiencing joy. Examples from South Africa's democratic election, the Chinese Cultural Revolution, and Desmond Tutu's life reveal the transformative power of facing mortality. Tutu himself cites his near brushes with death as the most significant experiences of his life, demonstrating the profound growth that can come from embracing mortality. Cultivating Joy with 8 Pillars. It's time to focus on positivity and cultivate happiness, but how can we do it? The author explains that the 8 pillars of joy are crucial to our well-being. The first of these pillars is perspective. Observing the situation through a wider lens will sharpen your focus and bring joy and hope into your life. The idea is illustrated with an example from Viktor Frankl, the author of Man's Search for Meaning, who remembered how adopting a different perspective helped inmates survive in Auschwitz. The second pillar is humility, and the author explains that seeing oneself as better than others can lead to anxiety and loneliness. The Dalai Lama is cited as an example of someone who has come to understand the importance of humility. By embracing these pillars, we can begin to cultivate joy and positivity in our daily lives. The power of humor and acceptance. Humor and acceptance are essential pillars of joy. Desmond Tutu used humor to bring together 2 warring ethnic groups in Rwanda. Through humor, he highlighted the absurdity of prejudice and brought relief in a tense situation. Humor can pave the way for acceptance, which is necessary for true joy. Accepting difficult situations instead of avoiding or criticizing them allows us to break free from negative emotions and move towards feelings of joy and calm. By acknowledging that we cannot control everything, we can focus on what we can control and work towards improving our circumstances. The combination of humor and acceptance allows us to find joy in even the darkest of situations. The power of gratitude and forgiveness. The book underlines the importance of gratitude and forgiveness as fundamental pillars of joy. While many take life's simple luxuries for granted, being thankful for even the smallest things can help people lead happier lives. This is exemplified through the experiences of Anthony Ray Hinton who, despite spending 30 years in jail on wrongful accusations, forgave those responsible and learned to enjoy the present. Forgiveness is another essential element of joy and can bring closure and peace to individuals, even in the face of heinous crimes. Compassionate concern for joy. Giving gifts to others provides a buzz of happiness that is a natural trait in human beings. This trait is part of the 7th pillar of joy called compassionate concern. Evolutionary biologists have said that self-interest is linked to this compassion, and children as young as 6 months exhibit this behavior towards helping others. The helper's high, similar to the feeling of eating chocolate, is experienced due to the release of endorphins. Spending time on others' happiness is the last pillar of joy. The founder of the Center for Compassion and Altruism Research and Education at Stanford University, James Doty, realized the happiness derived from helping others after donating $30 million to a charity and later losing all his wealth in the subsequent stock market crash. Researcher Elizabeth Dunn found that people are happier when they spend their money on others. In conclusion, simple emotions like forgiveness and compassion can produce some of the most healing and uplifting experiences.
In summarizing The Book of Joy by the Dalai Lama XIV, it's evident that happiness can be attained in even the most challenging situations by shifting our perspectives from ourselves to others, and nurturing mental immunity. The authors demonstrate the importance of compassion, love, and the constructive side of sadness, while emphasizing the need to conquer fear and anger. With the guidance of the 8 pillars of joy, perspective, humility, humor, acceptance, gratitude, forgiveness, compassionate concern, and concerning yourself with the happiness of others, you are equipped with the wisdom to move forward through life with a joyous spirit, transforming personal challenges into growth and happiness.